Welcome to the Teenage Mutant Fight Club podcast. Are you ready for a thrilling journey?
I am. Always.
I hope you are, because we're about to dive into two uh wild tales.
Wild tale.
Wild tales. They're flash fiction stories about, teen heroes and underdog outcasts. Imagine like a blockbuster action movie, but just for your ears.
Love it. That's what we do here, right? Turn those words into a full cinematic experience.
Absolutely. And if you like what you hear, please don't forget to rate and follow the show for more, more captivating stories from the Teenage Mutant Fight Club podcast.
Yes, please. We love hearing from you.
All right, so today's journey actually takes us through two, really different scenarios, right?
Oh, they are. Very different.
But they both show how amazingly resourceful these young protagonists are.
Right. Especially when they're, facing what seem like totes impossible situations. Those moments where you think there's no way out.
Exactly. But they find a way, don't they?
They do. And that's part of what makes these stories so captivating.
Totally. Okay, so you sent us these flash fiction stories.
We love reading what you send in.
Yeah, and we've really dug into them, trying to find like the most fascinating,
Oh, yeah. The real nuggets of insight.
Exactly. So first up, we have this flash fiction story called Sound War.
Oh, Sound War.
Okay, so picture this. We're in a colony where sound isn't just something they hear. It's like they're everything. It's what powers their whole civilization. It's wild.
Yeah. It's almost like sound is their lifeblood. It powers their lights, their tools, even how they talk to each other.
It's like the air itself is alive, isn't it? With energy.
Yeah, exactly. And all this sound comes from this place called the Great Resonance Chamber. Imagine, like this massive central hub humming with energy that flows out through tunnels connecting their whole world.
And it's not just like white noise, right?
No. Think more like a symphony, this living, breathing symphony that keeps their whole society going.
Wow. Okay, I'm getting chills just imagining it.
Right. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, so in the story, one of the characters, Kestrel,
Right.
she talks about how this constant thrumming, the sound, it's like the very essence of home for her,
It's so deeply ingrained, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can almost feel it in the way she describes it.
Yeah, so like you can imagine how terrifying it is when that's like threatened.
Oh yeah. Imagine if your home was suddenly under attack. That's what it feels like for them.
So that's where these creatures come in, these sound eaters.
Sound eaters, yeah.
Yeah, and they're not just like annoyed by sound.
No, they consume it, like literally devour it.
Yeah.
So wherever they go, they leave this path of unnatural silence.
Silence. So creepy. And the story mentions how it all starts in the eastern tunnels, right?
Yeah.
And you can just feel the fear and the panic spreading through the colony as the silence gets closer and closer. Like their whole way of life is being like stripped away.
Yeah, it's not just an attack, it's a silencing.
Yeah.
Which for them is truly terrifying.
Totally. And right in the middle of all this, we meet our heroes, these siblings, Kestrel, who we've already met, and Lynn.
Kestrel and Lynn.
And they're tracers, which basically means they can hear like the smallest changes in sound, like they're super sensitive to it.
Like having a superpower. Super hearing, almost.
Right. You'd think they'd be the perfect people to fight these sound eaters.
Yeah, like finally their unique skill is useful.
Right. But at first they feel totally useless.
Really?
Yeah, because what can they do against pure silence,
Yeah.
Their talent, their gift, it doesn't seem to work against this kind of enemy.
Wow, so it's like they're facing the ultimate counter to their abilities.
Exactly. And this is where their ingenuity starts to shine.
Oh yeah, how so?
So Lynn, he's like the strategic one, right? He starts thinking, okay, there must be some kind of sound, some frequency that these creatures can't handle.
Smart, trying to find their weakness.
Yeah. And then Kestrel, she has this amazing idea. She realizes they need to think about sound differently.
Differently. How so?
Not as a weapon, not as a way to attack, but more as something to like shape and direct.
Interesting. So instead of fighting sound with sound, they're trying to, outsmart it somehow.
Exactly. It's like in the story, they're called architects of sound, not warriors.
Architects of sound, I like that. So what do they build?
So they come up with this plan to use the old mining tunnel.
Old mining tunnels.
Yeah, these tunnels were abandoned because they were unstable. Like the echoes in there were all crazy and dissonant.
So the opposite of the carefully controlled sound of the colony.
Exactly, but that's what makes them perfect.
Wait, so they want to use this chaos as a weapon?
Yeah, so they map out all these specific spots where the sound reverberations are like the strongest and most unpredictable.
I see. So they're really studying the tunnels, learning how the sound behaves in there.
Yeah, and Lynn, he's at the control panel, like manipulating the sound waves based on Kestrel's instructions.
So he's like, what, conducting this wild, untamed orchestra.
Exactly.
I bet that takes a lot of skill.
Oh, yeah. But it's not over yet.
There's more.
So now the Great Chamber, that central hub for all their sound, it starts making this new sound. It's super discordant, like totally unsettling.
So they're changing the very music of their world.
Yeah, but that's not the attack itself. It's like the bait. Kestrel starts weaving together this sonic tapestry, mimicking the sounds of home, but with these jarring bits from the abandoned tunnels.
So it's familiar, but also deeply unsettling.
Yeah, like the sound eaters are drawn to it, but it's also kind of repelling them at the same time.
Okay, now that's clever.
And Lynn, he amplifies that sound, directing it towards the main group of sound eaters. And for a second, they hesitate.
They hesitate.
Yeah, like it's not the pure silence they're looking for.
It makes you wonder what these sound eaters are really after, huh?
I know, right? But that hesitation, that's their chance.
Their chance to do what?
To drive them away. Because instead of eating the sound, the creatures start retreating, drawn to the unstable tunnels.
So the dissonance is actually driving them back.
Yeah, it's like they can't resist it, but they also can't stand it.
Fascinating.
And here comes the final part of the plan. The most ingenious part.
Okay, lay it on me.
They don't just lure the sound eaters into the tunnels, they make the tunnels collapse.
Whoa, they collapse the tunnels.
Yeah, in a controlled way, of course.
Yeah.
So the creatures are trapped.
Wow, that's bold. I wonder if they thought about the long-term consequences of that, changing their tunnel system so dramatically.
Right. But it works. And the colony's safe, the silence is gone.
And everyone breathes a sigh of relief, I imagine.
Totally. The Great Chamber is humming again, and everything feels, right in the world.
But as you said, it's a changed world, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's this line in the story that Lynn says. He's like, turns out making noise works too.
Huh. I love that. It's so simple, but so profound,
Totally, because they went from feeling totally useless to being, the story calls them eco-engineers, which is so cool.
Eco-engineers, yeah, like they've learned to weaponize the very essence of their world.
And the colony, the sound of it, it's changed. It's more complex, but also stronger because of what they went through.
Like a harmony that's been tested by fire and come out stronger.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we've journeyed through this sonic landscape.
Sound war, yeah, what a journey.
Now let's switch gears, right? Let's go from sound to silence, actually.
Silence, huh?
Yeah, the kind of silence you find in dark alleys and abandoned warehouses.
Sounds a little ominous.
It is, because that's the setting for our next flash fiction story. This one's called The Artful Dodgers.
The Artful
Yeah. So this one's about these orphaned siblings. There's Ellie, the oldest, and then Tilly and Tom.
So a little family unit having to fend for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And the story really highlights how much Ellie cares for her younger siblings. They're all they have.
Oh, that's heartwarming, but also, a little sad.
It is, a little bit. Especially when you consider the environment they live in. It's harsh. They're constantly having to, scrape by.
Yeah, survival mode. So what happens in the story?
So one night, they hear this creak, just a simple floorboard creaking, but they know it's not just the house settling.
Uh-oh. I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, it's not good. It's thieves. But not just any thieves.
What do you mean?
The story says they smelled of desperation and cruelty. That detail always gets me.
Yeah, wow. That really sets the tone, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you can almost smell the danger.
And Ellie, she's really good with lockpicks. It's a skill they've had to learn.
A necessary skill in their world, I imagine.
But she knows that won't help against brute force.
So they're outmatched from the start.
Yeah, seems like it. But they have this secret weapon.
A secret weapon? What is it?
They're home. They know every inch of that ramshackle house. Every creaking floorboard, loose brick, even the cat flap.
Okay, so their knowledge of the house is their advantage.
Exactly. It's like Like their home is a giant trap just waiting to be triggered.
I love it. Turning their vulnerability into a strength.
Yeah. So they don't even try to fight the thieves directly.
That would be foolish, right?
Totally. They use misdirection. They activate all these little defenses they've created over time just by, living there.
So their home is like this pre-built defense system.
Exactly. And each sibling has a role to play. It's like a perfectly choreographed dance of chaos.
Sounds exciting. Tell me more.
So Tom, he's really good at disappearing. Like he can fit into the tiniest spaces, so he hides in the crawl space under the floorboards.
Clever. Using the house's structure to his advantage.
Yeah. And Tilly, she can blend into the shadows. She uses a rope to set up tripwires and other distractions.
So she's like a master of stealth and deception.
Yeah. And Ellie, she creates a diversion at the window, drawing the thieves' attention.
The classic misdirection tactic. Okay,
Yeah.
so they have their roles. What happens next?
Chaos. The first thief walks right into Tilly's rope trap and goes sprawling. Then, bam, bucket of ice water.
Oh, that's got to be a shock.
And to make things even creepier, Tom starts making these weird noises from under the floorboards, just to freak them out.
Psychological warfare. I love it.
Yeah. And then, this part is kind of funny, one of the thieves falls right into the root cellar, head first.
Oh, no. But also kind of hilarious considering the situation.
Right. And Ellie, she's not done yet.
There's more.
She comes out with this shiny pocket watch.
Ooh, a pocket watch.
Oh.
Is it valuable?
Nope, it's fake. But she uses it as bait, luring the last thief towards a group of, street urchins who are waiting for him.
Clever girl. Using her knowledge of the streets to her advantage.
Right. It's like this perfectly timed street performance, and it works. The thieves run off, and the house is safe.
They really turned the tables, didn't they?
Yeah. The silence afterwards isn't like scared silence. It's more like relief. Like the story says, it's the thrumming quiet of a house well defended.
Beautiful.
I know. And they've become more than just survivors, They're like artists now.
Artists?
Yeah, they're using their wits and their courage as weapons, and their home, that's their stage. Every time they defend themselves, it's like another note in their symphony of defiance.
Wow. I love that image.
Yeah. And that's how they become known as the Tiny Twist Gang.
The Tiny Twist Gang, a name that fits them perfectly.
Yeah.
So they started with nothing. They had empty pockets, but they learned how to use that to their advantage.
Yeah, and they also learned that true strength comes from, being clever and working together.
Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say.
Okay, so we've seen these two incredible flash fiction stories. In one, they literally weaponize sound, and in the other, they turn their home into this amazing defense system.
Both groups faced incredible odds, but they found unique and creative ways to overcome them.
Yeah, and what really stands out to me is how they took their, what most people would see as weaknesses and turned them into strengths.
It's all about perspective, isn't it?
Totally. Kestrel and Lynn, they understood the power of sound, and Ellie and her siblings, they knew their environment like the back of their hands.
They both saw potential where others saw only limitations.
Exactly. It's like they were looking at the same thing, but seeing something completely different, and that's what allowed them to, to find those creative solutions.
Absolutely. And it's a good reminder for all of us, isn't it, that sometimes the answer isn't about brute force or power, but about understanding the systems and environments around us.
Yeah, and using that knowledge in clever ways, whether it's a network of sound tunnels or a ramshackle house.
Or even just the streets we walk every day.
Right. I mean, who knows what challenges we could overcome if we just took a moment to look at things differently.
That's a great takeaway.
I hope this journey through these two wild flash fiction stories has, given you some food for thought.
Me too.
And if you're ready for more, don't forget to rate and follow the Teenage Mutant Fight Club podcast. We've got more captivating stories waiting for you, so join us next time for another thrilling audio journey.